Centered by our #1 qualifier in Pro Stock Motorcycle, Angelle Sampey. 6.812 at 197.02. Both are track records. Her second consecutive #1, her third of the season. And she has 2 wins here in her career as she faces Hector Arana first round tomorrow. Talk about that #1. That was... that?
Oh, the Hector Arana, seriously?
I think so.
I didn't know that.
I'll double check.
Yeah.
And
Senior, not junior.
Senior.
Yeah, senior.
And talk about that last, these 2 sessions today, kind of see if you can juggle around and getting up to that #1 position.
Okay. First of all, I came to this race excited because it's the U.S. Nationals and we have a few sponsors on board for the weekend. Everybody wants to be on board for U.S. Nationals. We have Trimtex and Retail Fixture and Cold Hard Art, which is a very good friend of mine, Tom Patsis. So we wanted to do well for them along with Precision Service Equipment. But I wasn't sure what I was going to do because our #1 and #2 engines are in Corey's corner this weekend. #1 engine is in his bike and we got the #2 as his backup because, as you know, getting him into the countdown is very important. So we wanted to make sure he had the best we have. I'm not sure where the engine I'm running this weekend is on the ladder. I don't know what number it is, but we came knowing it wasn't our best engine. So we were just going to do the best we could with that engine, and so I didn't have really high expectations, and now I feel very guilty for feeling that way because it shows how awesome my Star Racing team is, and it really doesn't matter what engine is in my motorcycle, it's going to go fast. So when they told me I ran at 81, I lost it down there like I won the race. I was screaming, hooping, and hollering because I really didn't expect the 81. I was very proud of my team and also very proud of myself because I did a very good job of driving at that run, which usually doesn't happen every single run.
That's interesting, that number 81. Savoy talked about we need to get to 81 to do exactly what you've done. Is it the weather? What gave you the 81?
Well, actually, Corey and I both struggle with getting our shift points perfect. I mean, we're really tough on ourselves. They're not far from right where we want them, but they're not perfect. And to compete out here against this competition these days, you have to be perfect. And that run, I did it at the right time. I shifted on time every gear. The bike went perfectly straight. I got tucked in really well. We got every bit out of the motorcycle that we could get out of it on that run. It was just perfect timing for us. Corey has had a couple of runs. When he ran the good run the first time, his shifts were really good, and then he went a little backwards with 1-2 shift. But we're working on it, both of us, and it has nothing to do with being a rookie or being being out here for as long as I have. It's just really hard to do. We're talking about shifting 6 gears in under 5 seconds. So to get them perfectly on time is a task for anybody. So if anybody who thinks it's easy, they're welcome to come and try it. So that's just really what it was getting the perfect run right when we needed it.
You were pretty aggressive at getting your first green hat. I think you yelled, "Give me my green hat," or whatever. Are you as excited?
I am, because this is the U.S. Nationals green hat. As a matter of fact, when I got my first #1 qualifier for the year, when I got my second #1 qualifier for the year, I always grab a hat for my dad and my brother because they're racers too, and it means a lot to them, and they wear them. My dad never usually calls me to tell me, save a hat for me. He just figures I will. On the way up here, he called my phone. "Please bring me home the U.S. Nationals #1 qualifier hat." I said, "Daddy, I will. I always do." So, it's important to my whole family. And it's the U.S. Nationals. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be #1 qualifier. So this was the first goal of the weekend. My crew chief, Ken Johnson's a little leery. He thinks that #1 qualifiers are jinx and they don't usually win, but Eddie Querick has proved this year that it can be done, so I don't believe in that. I will win the race and get the yellow hat. That's what we're going to believe.
When you guys were running through your championship years earlier in your career, did they give hats or?
No, we didn't. It was, I think we got like the Powerade hats and stuff like that, but it didn't mean anything. It was just a regular hat for the television show to have the marketing thing, but a specific hat for #1 qualifier and for winning the race, I don't think existed as far as I remember. So this is pretty special. I can remember when I first came back, I couldn't wait to get one of the colors. It used to be orange when you did an interview, and so now it's the black, mellow yellow hats, and I just couldn't wait to get my first one of those, and I couldn't wait to get the green, and I couldn't wait to get the yellow one, and now it's just adding to the collection, so I'm excited.
Angele, you said you didn't like the right lane. You weren't real thrilled.
Funny, I did. I said I preferred the left lane, and then I went number 1 in the right lane. So now it really doesn't matter. I'll take whatever lane they give me. They are very good, both of them. There's a really bad bump down there, right when you shut off the motorcycle. I mean, we call it the whoop-de-doo section. So you have to be really careful out here if you're leaning off the bike when you get into those bumps. And what I've been doing to keep myself safe is I haven't been pulling in the clutch. I'm just rolling off the throttle, letting the engine slow me down. So that way I don't have to hit the brakes in those bumps. So doing the best I can to stay safe, especially after what happened yesterday.
Has your daughter seen your excited face and voice?
When I came back after the number 1 qualifier run, she yelled, "Mommy, you won number 1." So she thinks that's something you win, I won number 1. But I'm glad you asked about my daughter, because this is an interesting story. She's hanging out in the Vance and Hines pit right now. She asked to be dropped off there instead of coming up here with me, because she's got a little affection for Declan Hines right now. And so I've been dropping her off in the Vance and Hines pits, and lo and behold, this morning I get a picture from Andrew. I can show it to you guys. It's a picture of Ava with the Vance and Hines hat on. So my daughter is a traitor.
Somebody's going to get fired as a security breach here. I can see it coming. Angelle, you've been running really strong. George found something. Can you
We've
talk
just
about where you found
we've
it?
been working really hard. I've said it before in the interviews that Precision Service Equipment bumped up our program a little bit, gave us some extra money to help with the R&D program. We've been putting all brand new parts in the bike. When things start to get old and beat up, they don't run as fast. And in the past, we weren't able to freshen it all up like we are now. But now we're making sure that we come out here with perfect springs, perfect everything. And Corey and I are working real hard together, trying to do a better job riding. The team's gelling really well. I mean, everything's just going in the right direction. Corey is going to be so awesome. I mean, I don't know if anybody in the pits realizes how badass he's going to be, but he's going to be one tough competitor. So as soon as he figures everything out and gets in the groove perfectly, I'm telling you, I don't even want to be in the other lane against him.
I've heard no listen Michael Phillips complimenting Corey's ride.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You and Corey were listening to
Yeah, we were sharing down with the sickness right before you ran that run.
So is Corey Angels from 15, 20 years ago?
He's John Myers. He is a walking, talking John Myers. Maybe not quite as funny as John was. John was a hilarious person. Corey's a little bit more reserved. But he rides like him. He looks like him when he's suited up. I mean, he's pretty eerie. We've had people say that they had to take a second look because it looked like John Myers on a motorcycle. So yeah, it's a blessing to have him on the team, because it's like we're getting to share the days with John again.
Angelle, share your heart a little bit about Ken Johnson. I know you have a special
Ken
place
Johnson
for him.
he's the most awesome pro stock motorcycle builder and crew guy I could ask for. Where Ken goes, I go. I mean, he's the real reason I'm with Star Racing. I love him to death. He's so grounded. He never gets nervous. He never gets excited. He's the one that keeps me so grounded. And the man he deserves so much more, what's the word, not respect, but recognition for what he does, because he's amazing. And I know several teams have tried to take him away from us, and we're fortunate to have him stay with us. But I mean, he's funny now, because I can never do anything good enough. I get back and he starts fussing at me for something. So you have to have a real strong, heart with him, because he'll tell you you're not that good. So, but having him to push me like that is a special thing, and just having him part of my team, I wouldn't do it without him.
So has he already fussed at you about an 81?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's always got something to say. As a matter of fact, we got pulled into the barn, and he was telling the tech guys to notice how the throttle bodies had turned. The motorcycle vibrates so much that he was trying to turn the throttle bodies and they wouldn't turn, but they turned themselves. We put a little paint line, and you can see that the line had separated quite a bit. And he was telling the tech guys, look how much these things turn on the run. And I said, yeah, can you imagine what it feels like riding it? He goes, quit your bitching, and just dropped the motorcycle. I was like, I didn't even say anything bad. I just said, imagine what it feels like to ride it.
Great. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. Hope to see you up here tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.